let's talk about the new WordPress 3.2 upgrade. Now, this is actually a major upgrade, so I wanted to point out just a few things before you go about upgrading your website. If you are using premium themes and premium plugins, which means you've paid for these, I would wait at least a week or two before any major upgrade. Do a quick Google search on the plugin or the theme that you're using, along with, in this case, WordPress 3.2, and get an idea of if anybody's having any sort of issues. They do a lot of testing before they send these updates out, and the chances are there will be very, very little that happens if you do upgrade. But you don't want to be the one who has to report an issue that somebody else has to fix when you could have just waited for somebody else to do that for you. So give it a week or two before you upgrade on major upgrades. Now, if they come out with WordPress 3.2.1 or 3.2.2, those are tiny changes. Those are more security updates or hardening of WordPress, they call it. Those are almost 10 times out of 10 completely safe to upgrade, and I would do that relatively right away, especially if it's a security upgrade. Now let's get back to 3.2. Now this WordPress update was major for a couple of reasons. One is there's a completely different design, which you're going to see in a second. Now what you're looking at here is WordPress 3.1. I've actually, this is the training blog that we use for WP training videos, and you can see it's the old WordPress version. And you can also see it's got this nice little update feature here that you may already know about. So it's letting me know that WordPress 3.2 is available and that we need to update now. However, I want to point out one thing. Let's take a look at WordPress.org. Okay, now I'm on WordPress.org right now, and this is called the codex. This is kind of the nitty-gritty details, and this is not something that you would normally have to do. But any major changes, they're going to let you know about. And here, right in the middle, let me zoom in here. You can see this requirements changes. So right here it says PHP 5.2 and MySQL database. You know, they've made some changes, and if you don't have those, if your hosting company doesn't have those, you're going to be in some trouble when you try to upgrade. But how do you know whether or not your hosting company has those? There's actually a really quick, easy plugin that I want to show you. So we're going to jump back into WordPress. We go to plugins. Now, most companies, we're going to go to add new. Most hosting companies will have this taken care of, especially the major ones like Bluehost or HostGator. But if you're with a company that you're just not sure about, or even if you're with Bluehost or HostGator and you're not sure, it's pretty easy to check. We're going to go to type in here health check. This is the name of the plugin. Go to search plugins. Should be the first one here. It is. So there's health check right there. And what it's going to do is it's going to check the PHP and the MySQL versions of the server that you're on, and it's going to see if it's good for WordPress 3.2. And it was actually created by WordPress. So this is a great plugin to install. So we're going to go ahead and install that. Yes, we do. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and activate this plugin. And you can see right up here on the top of the plugin screen, this is all this plugin does, but very, very important. Right here. So at the top of the plugin screen, it says, excellent, your server is running PHP version and MySQL version, both of which are fine for 3.2 and onward. So it lets you know for a fact that you're not going to have any problems, at least when it comes to PHP and MySQL. Now, the other reason I'm safe to upgrade on this particular blog is because I am using, jump into themes here, I am using the standard, what they call 2010 theme. This is the one that came with WordPress. This is the one that's my current theme. And I know that I'm not going to have any problems with it because, again, it was from WordPress, designed by WordPress. So no issues at all. I'm going to jump back in my dashboard. Incidentally, if you are looking for information about WordPress 3.2 and you wanted to find out how to get to that codex, all you need to do is just click right up here where it says WordPress 3.2. You can see that right there. So we'll click on that. It automatically takes you to the codex. In our case, of course, we want to update. So I can click here where it says please update now, or I can click right over here where it says updates. Either one works, and we're going to go ahead and click on that. Okay, so here we are in our WordPress updates automatically to update to 3.2. And this really is the only way that I've ever upgraded WordPress, is this automatic way. That's primarily because I don't customize the WordPress code. If I had customized certain parts of the WordPress codec or the WordPress code in WordPress 3.1, then I would only update maybe certain parts of it. So in this case, I'm not customizing anything. It's very easy, and I, to be honest, don't really plan to, because between themes and plugins, there's all the customization options I could ever really want. So let's go ahead and upgrade automatically here. We're watching this in real time, so you can see it's just taking a few seconds to update. And we should be set. So WordPress, I get the little message here, WordPress updated successfully. We're going to go to the dashboard and hopefully prepare to be amazed. Okay, so already this is my first look at this too. So forgive me if I'm sort of fumbling around a little bit. So here we've got the dashboard. Already you can tell it's different. It's a little bigger. There's not that big giant bar across the top, but there is the site name right here. So if I click on this, my guess is it takes me to the site, which it does, just like the old one did. So let's go back. We still have the way to go back here. So dashboard. Now this is a little different from the other one. This will now take me to my profile if I wanted to edit that, or I can log myself out. I've got dashboard option. We can add new. Now this is nice. From within your site, if you're logged in as the admin, you can add a new post page, media. So this is your audio, video, PDFs, or zips. You can add a new link. You could add a new user, a new theme, or a plugin. So this is just kind of a nice little shortcut. Comments, if you had to address any comments, can be taken to the comments. And then appearance. You can change your themes, widgets, adjust menus, change the background color, or your header options right here as well. Also a nice little search feature in the upper right-hand corner there. Now in our case, let's go back to the dashboard because I want to kind of operate from that. So we'll click there and back at the dashboard. So now this is a little different, just a little different design. If I click on that, okay, so that just kind of shrinks that, just like the regular. So that just operates the same way, just slightly different look. And let's see, we've got home updates. Okay, now one difference is there used to be, here's what I was looking for, there used to be right in between here, there was these little things you could click on and it would shrink this down. This looks to be right here now at the very, very bottom. So I'll zoom in there. See that where it says collapse menu right in here. So now we're going to click on that. And okay, so that shrinks the menu down. So if you want a little more space and switch everything to icons, that's kind of nice. So you can have all those little slide outs there. Let you know exactly what you need. Just a slightly different look. We'll expand that back out. Okay. The other thing I want to point out, now this is something that I don't have a multi-site setup on this WordPress installation, but if you are looking for, if you set up as a multi-site, you will notice up here, it used to say system admin or network admin or super admin. Now it says that right under here. If you click on your options, you can see your profile and log out. That's where that super admin would be. So just FYI for that if you happen to have that. Screen options look to be about the same, so we can turn off, and these are all the different menus down here, or the modules I should say down here at the bottom that you can turn off. Nothing additional added. Now let's take a look at posts. So let's go ahead and pretend we're going to do a new post here. Okay. A new post. All right, so we're doing a new post. Now this is different. In the format section, this is something that technically was in version 3.1, but it was sort of buried. It was something that some themes accessed, some things didn't. It wasn't really publicly available. Now it's publicly available because what they're trying to do here is come up with a set of standard post formats so that if you have a picture, you can tell WordPress from your, let's say your iPhone or your Android device, you can take a picture, you can then upload it to your blog and tell WordPress, hey, format this as if it's a picture, and they'll automatically be a post format for your picture, so it looks nice. And a side might be just a little quote or a quip. It's maybe something you would put on Twitter. So now you can put it on Twitter, post it to your blog, and say, hey, listen, post this as an aside, and there'll be a specific format for that. So this is something that I would look to be not so useful immediately, but pretty quickly. I think a lot of themes are going to jump on this, and then you'll see a lot more formats that you can choose from. And again, the theme you might have already might have a bunch of these in there. Categories looks to be about the same. Tags, featured image. Okay, so all of that looks to be the same. The one thing I am excited about is, let's switch back to the visual tab here. Actually, that's good. So the HTML has the same thing. This little full screen button, this is new. This is what they call the Zen mode, or the distraction-free mode. So visual, going to show the kitchen sink here, but there's our full screen mode on visual. And again, on HTML, you can just say it says full screen. So we're going to click on full screen mode, which evidently is Alt-Shift-G. Click on that. Look at that. So now everything goes away. There's my post title. And if I move my mouse, that's what's causing all of this to show up. So I've got, again, visual HTML. I can switch that right there. I've got kind of the main things that you would typically use. I can type whatever I want to type. Typing in Zen mode is great. Incredibly clean. All right, so look at that. So that's almost better than any sort of word processor I've played with. Wide open. And again, you move your mouse, and all of a sudden, as you go to mouse over your fields, that's what it'll show you, the typical stuff you might be used to right here, where it says word count. And they call that this just right feature as well, so you'll see that. So now let's go ahead and we'll just save that. And then we'll toggle back right here where it says exit full screen. And we're back into our traditional post. So that's a nifty little feature. We'll go ahead and publish that just for fun. Okay, let's jump into Pages, because I'm wondering if that same option is available in Pages. Let's go ahead and we'll just add a new page here. Okay, test page. Yep, there it is. There's that full screen toggle. Same thing, full screen toggle. So we'll do this from HTML. So exact same interface because it's kind of the same module. So test page, typing a test in Zen mode. We'll come back up here. I'm just going to save that and exit full screen. Okay. By the way, if you see this little exit full screen thing pop up right up here, that is Google Chrome that I'm using. So don't try to hit F11. It probably won't work for you. All right, let's take a look. So nothing else seems out of the ordinary or uniquely different there. There were also, in addition to, and the reason that the requirements went up for PHP and MySQL was because WordPress operates a lot faster behind the scenes. So you should see some increases in speed for your websites. If you have a lot of authors on your website, you'll probably see a little bit of a cleaner, quicker interface for them as well. Jump into comments here and see if there's anything there. Doesn't look like it. Now let's take a look at themes. This was another major upgrade. The default theme was 2010. And now there is 2011, I believe is what they call it. Now currently, it didn't change the theme I had installed, which was of course 2010. But every year, WordPress likes to upgrade the default theme that they're currently having. So right now it was 2010. The new one is called, as you might guess, 2011. So what I'm going to do is search, and I have a lot of different themes that are currently installed just because I use a lot of different samples for this training, for WP training videos. So you won't see all of these. What I'm going to do is search for it because I know that they install it. You probably will just see it in the bottom here on yours. So we're going to search for that, 2011. And there's 2011 right there. So I'm going to take a quick look. So now this is a slightly unique, I see a few different pages that are different. And so this is a quick little preview mode. I'm going to go ahead and activate this and switch everything over to 2011. All right, so now I am 2011 currently running that theme. Let's take a quick look. All right. So you can see it's a lot cleaner interface. Looks like the comment bubbles are a little bigger. Wide open. I kind of like that. So now let's take a look. Go back to our dashboard here. And we're going to go into our theme options. Let's see what sort of customization. Okay, so this is a pretty quick and easy one. You can kind of invert it if you want. Go light or dark. Link color. So any hyperlinks, you can actually adjust what color shows up here. The default layout, this is something that's really different. So let me zoom in here. You could either keep content on the left. Get out of that. Content on the left here. You can keep content on the right so that the main content goes right on here. Or you can just keep it with no sidebar at all. So that's pretty interesting. That's a nice little difference. The other option here, let's go to background. So you put a background image in there, change the color around. But I believe header did some changes in here as well. Yes, they did. Okay, so here you've got the header size. In this case, 1000 by 288. Have to match that for this particular theme. Again, your theme might be different, might show different options. These are just the options that show for 2011. And part of the reason they do this is because if 2011 demonstrates all the fun stuff you can do with WordPress, other theme developers will then see what the potentials are and can create themes that'll do similar or even better things. So let's take a look. So this got random. So this is why, okay, so show a different image on each page. These are the random headers that come with this particular theme. And you can see, like I just showed that one, this little trolley was on the page. I can also remove it. I can change the text color. So pretty basic, but let's jump into the site again. All right, so now I've got a different photo there. Just to test it, see different photo again. Jump back out, jump back in, different photo again. So that's kind of a nice little rotating header. Keeps the site a little fresh, a little different. All right, so I'll jump back into dashboard. So that was another big change, was this particular theme. We're going to skip the editor. The editor is where you would really make like under the hood changes, and in most cases, especially if you're just starting out with WordPress, you don't need to mess with that. If you're wondering too, this Jetpack, I know you've seen this banner quite a bit. If you connect your blog to WordPress.com, which I'll probably do in an upcoming video, when you connect your installation to WordPress.com, you will get all of a sudden access to all these nice little plugins that are part of WordPress.com, and they would come with any WordPress.com blog. So I'm actually going to create another video for that, and that's why we're going to see these annoying banners. But these banners do go away if you do that. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's the tour of 3.2, at least the first look, I think I should call it. If I find anything that's really kind of cool that I think you guys should know about, I'll definitely pass it on. But for now, again, when it comes to upgrading, make sure that you've got the PHP and the MySQL database updated. You can do that, again, just to review with your plugin health check right there. So make sure you install that. And of course, any questions, any comments, just let us know at the bottom of the video. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next video.